welcome to our program today. We'll get started in just a minute. We're going to kind of slow walk the introductions a little bit today because we have Sonny Mullen with Help Hope Live here with us today, and I'll introduce her in just a minute. I'll just see if a few more people come on. It looks like mostly we have people that have been here before. So just by way of background, Tara, who is not able to be here today, had learned of the work of Help Hope Live and invited Sonny to be on our program today. And the way we're going to proceed is that we're going to invite her to share her story about her organization. And just by way of background, this group is a group that's involved in medical fundraising for expenses that are not covered by insurance. And this is something that really comes up for a lot of us, in just different ways over the years, really, of treatment and things like travel expenses and hotel expenses and other family expenses that you may incur for treatment. And so this is a really timely topic for us. So Sonny is the director of outreach, and let's see, it's about 5:06. I know we'll have some people straggling in, so probably Sonny, if you don't mind, I'll probably stop after about 10 minutes and see who's here and maybe kind of refresh the introduction. But with that, I'll just turn it over to you. We're so glad that you're here with us today. And
absolutely,
you met Jamie and Connie, who are two co-hosts here, and then everybody else who's here is, let me see, I'm looking, all of the people that are here today are patients, but okay, here's a caregiver who's coming in to just about, it's a caregiver. So but all of these patients are,
I am a rare caregiver myself. So
you are what? I'm sorry.
Rare caregivers. I'm a rare caregiver myself.
Oh, okay, great.
So thank you guys for giving me the time tonight during your group. I know that these group settings are really sacred times to be able to share and have a sense of community. So I appreciate giving me the platform. So as Charmaine said, my name is Sonny Mullen. I am the director of outreach with Help Hope Live. And we are a national nonprofit here in the US. We serve individuals in all 50 states of all ages to go into their communities to fundraise for their medical expenses and related costs. So anyone living with a catastrophic injury or illness, or those needing a life-saving organ transplant, we can help them fundraise. And what we do is quite literally in our name. We help ease financial burden of a medical crisis. We provide hope at a time of overwhelming need. And we support patients to live their lives as fully as possible, whatever that looks like to you. So we are very proud to be able to say that we have now been around for 40 years. This is our 40th anniversary. We were actually founded here in the Philadelphia region by a heart transplant surgeon at Temple University. So we've been doing this a long time, and we have been able to help over 20,000 individuals in that time raise over $172 million. And we are now assisting more conditions than ever, cancer being one of them. We just opened up to the cancer community in the last 5 years. So we truly are here to assist anyone living with a major medical condition that is experiencing a financial hardship. No one should have to face this hardship alone or even go through it at all. We never want a medical crisis to turn into a financial crisis. And so what we do is we set individuals up with a campaign page on our website and a one-on-one client services coordinator that gives you all the tools and support to go out and be successful in your fundraising. And then the funds come back to Help Hope Live and our Help Hope Live assets, so they should not affect any of your asset-based benefits or become taxable income to you or your family. And then you submit your bills to us, and we're here to help pay those bills directly for your entire lifetime. So between the personal support that we provide with our finance team and our client services team and our social media team, and the fact that we're a nonprofit, so all donations being made in your honor are tax deductible to your donors, and the way that we manage the funds, allowing you to do your fundraising in a safe and responsible manner. These are all advantages to coming to work with Help Hope Live. And here's just, a more clear-cut way of seeing what we just went over. The fact that really the biggest reason to use us is the way that we manage the funds. If you're ever going to be worried about your income level, or if you're on government benefits, we really are the safest way to do that fundraising. But another reason is that we also medically verify all of our campaigns. So another layer of transparency for our clients and our community, so that everyone knows that our clients truly have the conditions that they are fundraising toward and that they have the financial need to do that fundraising. It's really important to us that we get this verification from a medical professional for each and every one of our clients. We also rely on these medical professionals to bring us referrals, since they are the ones really on the front lines with their patients most of the times. I'm speaking to medical professionals every day and support groups like this every day to help us spread the word. So this is really important to us. So like I said, we provide you with a custom campaign page. This is where you can write your story. You can put up pictures, videos. You can have all of your fundraising go right through this page. You can put up your thermometer if you'd like. Everything is customizable. We make it as easy as possible. And the client services coordinator is here to help you with all of it. They can help you write your story. They can help you figure out what types of fundraisers work best, who your community even might be, all of that. And you know what? Even the thermometer is customizable. If you hit that $25,000 goal that Nicholas has here, we can change that goal. We're here for your lifetime. So we're here to help you go above and beyond. We're not here to set any limits on your fundraising. As well as the client services coordinator is here to help you with materials, all types of materials for your fundraising efforts. Everything from flyers to social media campaigns, outreach to local businesses, business cards. This is a real big one, very simple. We can provide you with business cards that you can carry on your person at all times, and you never know who you're going to run into in life. That, you can just hand them your card, the QR code will scan right to your campaign page, and right there they can make a donation. It's very simple, and we make it as easy as possible for everyone. I already see one question. So Charmaine, this might be a good time to maybe redo those intros like you had mentioned. I know some people did come in a little late.
Right. Yeah, let me look at the chat here real quick. For those of you who just joined us, I think James and Jessica came in after I introduced Sonny. Sonny is here with this group, Help Hope Live, and is talking about a different way of doing medical fundraising for expenses that are not covered by insurance. And the slides that she's gone through earlier, which we will, Sonny, you don't
I will provide them. Yeah, I will have this
great.
all as a PDF, and we'll provide this to you.
Great. And we do plan to preserve this part of the recording. Normally we don't publish any of the recording from our support meetings, but we're going to truncate this part and make it available to people on our website. But you'll see on one of the slides, James and Jessica and anyone else who might have come in late, that the way that Help Hope Live works is designed to preserve your eligibility for any public benefits that you may be getting that are means tested, income tested, and receiving funds from, let's say, a GoFundMe campaign that may impact some of the eligibility for benefits. This group is structured in a way so that your public benefits are not affected. So yeah, so let's see. I think Jessica has a question about
holistic side of things. Yeah, I saw that.
Address this now, Sonny?
Fine. And so, yeah, and I know I was mentioning about the medical verification. That verification would come from your specialist or your physician, whoever is verifying that you do indeed have that condition. As far as holistic treatments, we certainly can help you fundraise toward them, as long as, you know, a physician or someone is prescribing them or suggesting them. There's always, you know, I always suggest have the conversation. If you're ever in doubt, have the conversation with the client services coordinator and let us be the ones to possibly say no. We definitely are here to help with as much as possible that's related to the condition. And every day our eyes are opening to different treatments and different avenues out there. So if in doubt, have the conversation. We can always bump it up to our board, who has a committee that oversees our fund requests. But we do have a lot of clients that pursue different avenues of treatment as well. So I do appreciate that. So with that being said, we will move on to what am I talking about when I talk about fundraisers? What is a fundraiser? What should I even do? That looks very different to everyone. Since we truly assist individuals all across the country, fundraising and community means something different if you asked every single person. So anything that would be of interest to you, anything that would be of interest to your friends, your family. Do you have kids in a school? Do you go to a church? Are you part of a sports league? Do you play video games? You know, is your community virtual, online? Do you have family across the country? All of the above. Any types of ideas, from spaghetti dinners, silent auctions, benefit concerts, jewelry sales, custom materials, percentage of sales nights at your favorite restaurants. You'd be surprised how many of your favorite restaurants, especially national chain restaurants, a lot of them are franchised and a lot of them have it in their bylaws that they do percentage of sales nights for nonprofits. So it's always worth the question with restaurants if they would do a percentage of sales night, and maybe you might be responsible for bringing in some of that community, or sometimes they might just give you a percentage of whatever night they can give you. Those are some really easy hands-off ways of doing fundraising. And these are just some more examples of the flyers that our coordinators create in honor of our clients. And one fundraiser that I really loved, and just ways to be creative, is the flyer on the far left. Donate your shoe size ×2 or more. It's just a way to become really creative with a very simple concept. You know, maybe it's not about getting people to go out in person, but making it fun for them. So we can turn almost anything into a fundraiser. Just have the conversation with one of our coordinators. And virtual fundraisers are not going anywhere. So certainly we can still create all types of virtual fundraisers, any types of bingo or trivia nights, watch parties, photo contests, all of that. It's here to stay for forever and ever. So you've done all this fundraising. What are you fundraising toward? What can that even help with? Truly anything related to your condition. Everything from care with insurance premiums, hospital bills, travel, medical travel. You're just every day back and forth to the doctors. We can help with those mileage rates, the medical mileage rate we cover out of the funds that are raised in your honor, the parking receipts. If you have temporary relocation, if you have to go seek treatment in a different state for some reason, we can help you fundraise toward those costs. We can help toward caregiver expenses, medical marijuana, and so much more, even service animals, if you might need them. And then once you've done all that fundraising, you do submit that to us through our fund request form. And this is very easy to find on your campaign page. You can download it. You can scan your bills, scan this form, and just email it directly to our finance team. And we process well over, this is 45,000 at this point, fund requests in honor of our clients every single year. So we are doing this constantly. We offer direct deposit for any vendors or individuals so that you can get the reimbursements and the payments a little quicker. We do prefer to pay to vendor whenever possible. And we do have some partner discounts when, you know, we're always out there looking for different vendors that might offer certain discounts or different types of deals and services for our clients. Another thing with our transparency and our safeguarding our clients is that when you are filling out your application to become a client, there is a form in there where you create a team around you. And that team, you give permission to speak about the funds that have been raised in your honor, you give permission to certain people to request funds in your honor. So we will always know that this fund request is being requested and submitted by someone that you've given permission to. So we are not dispersing funds without your knowledge for some reason. That's just another way we're always here to safeguard our clients. And with all of that, I will say that everything that we do for you is free to you. We do have a 3% administration fee on all of the donations that come in your honor. And there is a 2.65 credit card fee that unfortunately we just can't get rid of. But the donors are able to cover all of those fees if they choose to within their donation. Or they can simply send a check to our office and that would just be the 3% administration fee then. But again, everything we do for you, all of the social media, the fund requests, the materials, everything is free to you and your community. One way that we do help, again, all of this being free, is that we help kickstart your fundraising a little bit. Within the first month or two of you becoming a client, we will provide you with a personalized fundraising video appeal. And it will use your story and your pictures. And it's a personalized appeal using the words of our executive director and going out to your community. So a very passive way for you to start your fundraising within your community. You just get the link, you can send it out. And then while you're doing this, we can help start planning your first fundraiser. So just one thing that we provide for you. Another thing we provide for you is a pretty robust resource directory. We have directories for the transplant community, the injury community, and the illness community. So we're always here to help. If there's something that we cannot directly assist with, we're always going to try to figure out a way to help you, whether it's one of our partners or another vendor or another resource that we've heard of. And with all of that, getting started with us, it is very simple. You would simply, one of two ways, whatever you're more comfortable with, you can go onto our website and click the Get Started button at the top right corner of our website. And you'll fill out a little bit of information, and that will trigger a phone call from one of our client services coordinators. Or you could simply call our 800 number, which you'll see here at the bottom of the screen, and just speak to one of our coordinators right off the bat. Either of those avenues will lead you to eventually speaking to a coordinator. They will explain the entire program, how we work, what's going on with you, what your situation is. And if you choose to move forward, if this will work for you, they will send you out a welcome packet with the application, the medical verification form, and the terms of service for you to sign off on. And then once all of this gets back to us, your campaign has started. You can start fundraising within 24 hours of that first phone call. And then once we get that medical verification form back, we then can disperse any funds that have been raised in your honor. So we make this as simple as possible for you and as quick as possible. And with all of that, that is Help Hope Live in a nutshell. We are here to safely and responsibly help you fundraise toward your medical expenses. No one should have to be worrying about how to pay the next bill when you're trying to get healthy. So I just really appreciate all of your time tonight. If anyone has any questions, by all means, I am here for that. And I will provide a PDF of this presentation as well so that it can be sent out to your group. But certainly let me know if anyone has any questions. And thank you.
A couple to start, and
Sure.
we'll see. We'll go back to full screen and see if people want to raise their hand or just indicate in chat that you do have a question. So one thing I wanted to ask, I know this is very helpful for people who are concerned about their income level for public benefit purposes, but do people participate in this even if they're not concerned about public benefit eligibility?
So you mean if they're not concerned about their donors getting the tax deductibility, or?
No, I mean about your
benefits?
own, like an income benefit.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're certainly
for
here.
Medicaid or an income level for nutritional.
Yeah.
No
Well, we're
benefits,
certainly
like
here
that.
to help. We're certainly here to help individuals who maybe don't have insurance or need help getting things that are paid, but we have clients that fully have great insurance.
Mhm.
But again, we're dealing with individuals that are living with lifelong spinal cord injuries or lifelong
Right.
illnesses
Right.
that your expenses can run $1 million a year. So no great insurance is going to fully cover all of that. So
Right.
while that's one of our benefits, it's certainly not something that's going to hinder, if you ever think, oh, I don't need that. The personal support and the social media support and everything else that we offer, plus the tax deductibility. A lot of times, and I mean, I don't want to generalize, but sometimes, if you are someone who has great insurance, maybe you have a great job and maybe you have a great community, the languaging then might be your community would really love the tax deductibility of those donations. And that's a great way to use us, a great reason to use us.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure. So for people whose incomes are, let's say, just over any income level for certain kinds of public assistance, so they really don't need to worry about fundraising like through GoFundMe and maybe getting too much income and they're no longer qualified. If they're not on that already, and so that's not really a concern. I think you just answered, there are other reasons to go through this kind of program.
And we certainly do in our application process. We do gather some basic financial information because as a nonprofit, we are here to help those that need us most. I don't know. I think we've maybe only ever had to turn away maybe 5 people in our 40 years for making too much money based off of all the income levels and everything and the bills that you have. So I think I always just tell people to err on the side of caution and have that first phone call.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And the second thing, I wanted to ask you, because of course, a lot of people that are here today, everybody here today has been dealing with this disease for quite some time, some of us for a long time. And talk to us about, is there any way if someone signed up today and started fundraising, can you deal with expenses on a retroactive basis? So like expenses that were incurred before they joined your group. Is that a possibility, or is that something that's just not feasible?
So it's a great question. So we can say you started today, May 17th. We can do a 3-month look back on any bills. We can't go much further than that just because at that point we are getting your medical verification. So to us, that is the proof that you have that condition. So that is the date, we're saying you're medically verified as of this date in our eyes. We can't necessarily really go too far back because the medical verification, all of that, but we're here then to help you move forward with the bill. So that's why we also would prefer people to just get started with us as quickly as possible, even if they don't think they need us today. That's fine. And then start fundraising, start a campaign, and be in our system.
Okay, I'll ask one more question.
Sure.
And then see if other people have some too. So this is a terrible question to ask, but in the event that a patient passes away and there are still funds that have been raised in that person's name, how do you handle those?
Sure, and it's a hard question to ask, not a terrible question. It's a hard question to ask, but it's a really good question. So when people are fundraising for Help Hope Live in honor of an individual, all of the funds are held in regionally restricted funds, depending on where the individual lives. We've broken the country up into 11 regions based off of UNOS, which is what handles all the transplants. So, again, we were founded by transplant. They split us up in 11 regions. It's easy to stay that way. So all of the funds, depending on where you live, are in that region. We are here to honor your donor's intent, to honor your medical expenses as long as you have them. If you choose to close the campaign, or if you do pass away, we are here to assist with basic funeral expenses and any outstanding medical expenses that may come. A lot of times there are things that still trickle in after passing. And then at that point, if there's truly no more expenses and there are still funds available in honor of an individual, they do stay in that region to assist other individuals with a similar condition. So they are Help Hope Live funds, and they are here to help the greater good. Sometimes we are able to help our clients go above and beyond what they've raised at times to help if they need maybe a little extra boost on a bill here or there. So that's how, as a nonprofit, we're here to really serve all of our clients. But as long as you are active with us, we are here to honor those donations.
Great. Thank you.
I did see a couple questions and points come through here, so let me just look real quick. Yeah, someone did mention service animals. As I mentioned, they aren't cheap, and we do understand that. So we do assist with that. And even if you already have a service animal, we can help you fundraise toward, you know, if maybe you need to go get treatment somewhere and you need to board your animal, those are funds that can be used as well. As long as we can link it back to the fact that it's for your medical reason that you're boarding that animal, we can help with that. Let's see,
Well,
we have
James, James had asked
just
that question about the service animal. We know James and his wife Jenny very well, and he also asked, how do you get to larger audiences? He and Jenny have been very active in fundraising, you know, on Jenny's behalf over the last few years, but
that's awesome.
Larger audiences.
So we definitely, speaking with the coordinators, they try to figure out how best to reach audiences like this. We can help reach out to local media if that's going to be an avenue. We can help with social media. We can do our best. We definitely, I will say that we've seen success stories. I will say, you know, that's can be a challenge at times. I'm not going to, you know, sugarcoat that, but we certainly can help get out into press and get out into social media, maybe highlight you on our blog, all of that. Like, we're here to help figure those questions out and see if we can help accentuate you a little bit more within the community. And Jessica did ask, which is another great question, how do we get paid as an organization? So all of the funds that we are helping our individuals raise in their honor for medical expenses are going toward medical expenses. They are held in a restricted bucket. We don't touch those. We, as an organization, we do have that 3% fee that comes off of all of the donations. So that helps us keep our lights on. You can tip on top of that 3% if you'd like, which is always very generous. We also have a virtual 5K in the spring, and we have our gala in the fall. So we do fundraising just like everyone else. We are working constantly toward helping ourselves keep our lights on so we can continue to assist our clients. So yeah, we have our own development and all of that. And then Misty does ask if our work is confined to the US. Right now, we are only servicing the 50 states and Puerto Rico. Now, I will say on the flip side of that, we don't have a citizenship question. So if individuals are in the US for an extended period of time, if they are seeking treatment in the US and have a community that can help them fundraise, they don't need to be a citizen or, you know, as long as they have a residence here, we can assist them in fundraising.
I know my dad's going to ask this question because my dad is always looking for a tax deduction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I work for a nonprofit. My dad likes to he likes to make a donation to the nonprofit to make sure that I get my salary. Yeah. Is this a way for, like, if I were to sign up for this and he were to say, I want to make, I mean, he always wants to give me money, which is a blessing. Is this a way for him to do it with a tax deduction? Are there limits, or am I like hearing this wrong?
So no, I do appreciate that question, because I will say we do have restrictions around individuals donating, and I don't know if this is your situation, around individuals donating to those that they consider dependents. I don't know if your father still considers you a dependent or not. Family members, sometimes if they're donating too much, it might raise a question if we know directly, just because in our eyes and in the eyes of the IRS, if family members are donating in honor of family members, they should just be giving those funds to the family member. So as long as he doesn't consider you as a dependent, if you don't live in that household, we can't necessarily, I mean, there might not be an issue with it. It is certainly a conversation. Family member donations can get hairy for those reasons, because as long as you are community fundraising, you know, if he does one donation a year and then you're community-based fundraising and he doesn't consider you a dependent, I don't think there should be an issue. It's just we've had issue in the past just with, you know, individuals donating in honor of dependents when just like you said, like they're donating really just to get the donation.
They're
So,
funneling money through, and I know
and
you
that
have to
is
be
not what
careful
we're
with
allowed
that,
to do.
but
Exactly.
okay, I know he's gonna ask me that as soon as I
Yeah.
start talking about it. So,
Absolutely. And so I will always err, like I said before, to just have the conversation with the coordinator, bring that up with them, make sure you get all of the information you need. But as long as he doesn't count you as a dependent, you don't live in his house, and you're doing community-based fundraising, I don't think it should be an issue. So,
okay,
yeah.
and it's not some $20,000 donation
Exactly,
that
that it's not,
nobody
yeah,
else is
like that
giving.
you're not getting one donation of $20,000 from your father per year. That would certainly raise a red flag.
Okay, perfect,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So Misty is saying, yeah, so if somebody could list a US address, even if they were not residing here on a permanent basis, would that work? If they have a US address and they are in the US seeking treatment, we still, they go through the medical verification process. They have a US doctor that can verify them. And again, the US community that's fundraising for them, because as much as it's great, and we do have clients that receive donations from overseas, it's really not ideal just because of the exchange rates to have that be your main base of donations. So yes, as long as the individual is donations are coming from the US and they have a US residence. I mean, we have clients that have gone out of country for treatment even before. So as long as they're based in the US, have that residence that they can claim, it shouldn't be an issue. Like I said, have that conversation, bring it up with a coordinator, but I don't think that should be an issue.
How does the caregiving aspect, Sonny, work? It's Connie. With regards to how do you handle that?
How do we pay for caregivers?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm trying to remember because we did recently change this. We can either, I believe we either reimburse or we are paying directly to a service. We cannot pay an individual directly as a caregiver. We used to do that a lot, and it was so many 1099s at the end of the year and all of that. So we can reimburse an individual, or we can pay directly to a service that they're using that is then in charge of their caregivers.
Do you pay family caregivers, or is it just?
Oh yeah. I mean, so it's not up to us to determine who the caregiver is. If they're the ones, if they are paying a caregiver and they have a receipt for the caregiver, they're the ones that are saying that that's their caregiver, we can reimburse them for that. We can't really get into that policing too much, but so it's either the reimbursement of that or going directly to a service. And I know that we certainly have a ton of family caregivers, absolutely. And speaking from experience, like I said at the top, I'm a rare caregiver. My dad is my brother's paid caregiver. Like, I understand how that works.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sonny, you've used the word, a community for fundraising. Can you talk a little bit more about, what you typically see? Is it really geographically based for the most part, or do you see these other kinds of communities frequently, like you talked about, like if you are a gamer or if you're, with the church or something like that? Well,
It is
has a geographic association too, but
yeah, it is truly, everyone is completely different because everyone brings with them their own experiences, their own life, and their own family and friends. Some people, and we can see a lot of differences sometimes regionally in how people are fundraising. A lot of people still, it's really what is your interest? What are your interests? Like I said, do you go to church? Do you have kids in school? Are you part of a sports league? Are you online? And that's what you're there to suss out with the coordinator. Everyone is completely different in what you're bringing to the table.
Okay, that's great. So I want to see if anybody else has a question. You can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat. Okay. Before we go, I'm going to put Dave on the spot. Dave, if you want to get on screen, that's fine. If you want to stay, hidden, that's fine too. I wanted to introduce you to Dave because he's in Philadelphia. Yes. And he's one of our patients who's been on here for about 3 years. And also, I haven't really shared this with the community of PALS, but Dave has recently agreed to be on our PMP Pals board, so we're really happy about that. We'll have an announcement out in our newsletter about that. But anyway, I don't know, Dave might have left his room. He's probably at his office still, but just wanted to, give a shout out to.
Happy to meet up, happy to do whatever locally we can do as well. So we are, I say we're in Philadelphia anymore, but honestly, with the pandemic, we now have coordinators in Memphis and Ohio. We just hired a new one in Queens, New York. So our staff is truly growing. I hired an outreach person in California. It's almost a lie for me to say that we're based in Philadelphia anymore. I mean, certainly we are founded and our heart is in Philadelphia, but our staff is all over anymore.
Well, there's Dave. He's driving. That's why we didn't see him earlier. Hey, Dave.
We want Dave to be safe.
You're on mute,
You're
Dave.
on mute. Let's see if we can unmute you. Can we unmute you? Let's see. We can't hear you yet.
Good, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Well, now we can hear you.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm not driving. Actually, was just stopping and getting a coffee at Starbucks, so I apologize. And it was so funny. I just pulled up literally and said, "What is that now?" Yeah, I like to try to learn something every day. This is blown away. I had no idea. I had no idea that this existed.
Dave,
Well,
you're
now you
breaking
can
up a
never say
little
that
bit.
again. Yeah, and like it is hard. You're a little garbly, but I do understand that you said you didn't know that this existed.
This
and
is
you don't say that
incredible.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish all of our financial advisors could work on a 3% margin as well. That's amazing for such a little.
I think you're breaking up a
Yeah.
lot, Dave. You might try going off camera and see if that improves, because we're really understanding. It's nice to see your face. But
Go off video, but keep talking.
yeah, sometimes going off video will help.
Can you guys do that for me?
There we go.
There you
Let's
go.
try it now. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that any better?
Yes, yep, I think so.
Anyway, the margin of 3%, I don't know how you do it. It's incredible. So I need
Okay, it's not better. Sorry, Dave.
That's all right.
sorry.
Dave, we're gonna get you my email and we'll connect.
Yeah, yeah.
I apologize.
Okay.
Thank you all.
All
Good to
right,
have
drive
you.
safe. Enjoy your coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Anything else? We go on to the remainder of our meeting. So, well, Sonny, this has been great. This has really been an eye opener. I understood the concept, but hearing more about the details and kind of how vibrant this whole organization is and all the work that you're doing and all the assistance with the fundraising task, because that can be really daunting for people, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for the caregivers too. So we're here to assist the entire team.
Right, right. Well, great.
Thank you.
If you'd like to stay, you're welcome to do so. We're going to segue into our support part of the meeting, and we
All right.
just go around the.
I will let you guys enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
And thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope we can start working with your community more. So just let me know and I will send all of this information out probably tomorrow at this point, and we will take it from there. So always feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Thank
You
you.
can send that to Tara, or
Yep.
why don't you just work with Tara to send that material, and then we'll make sure it gets available.
Absolutely.
Do some postings and all of that. Thank you
Absolutely.
for being here.
You're very welcome, everyone. Have a great rest of your night and a great meeting. I'll talk to you
All
all
right.
soon.
Thank you, Sunny.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.